in here and I have to be up in like 6 hours at this point, so I
Okay.
can stay for a little bit.
Where are
Now
you
it
from?
now it shows that
So long
now it
enough.
shows that it's recording. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I decided to quit the phone one. I think the main account was there, and that's why it was not. Okay, let me just send a quick message to Gigi because she was supposed to be here now, and if she can just join us, then we can start. And the rest of us will see the replay. So we're going here.
I find it amazing that the leader of the speaking team, his name is Mike. Isn't that amazing? Like the microphone.
So how many people were chosen? I mean, how many of the 50 that went to second round got it to the third round?
20 people. 20 people was shortlisted to the final round, and they will be going to Arizona.
I just heard a message from Dean Graciosi saying that is only 5 chosen.
5 will be chosen, yes.
Yeah. So.
But 20 of them will be going to Arizona for the final round.
Sure. Yes. But we are from different countries, right? Or I'm only the one from Spain.
No, it's basically all around the world. I'm stationing in Malaysia at this point. Eli is in Chile. So it's all around the world, and they were actually giving you the tickets right there. They would fly you in for this final round. Okay, I'm not sure if we should wait any longer or just go with the agenda.
Yeah, I think we should get started because we're already like.
Yes. I think that would be the best. All right, guys. So let me just post the agenda over here in the chat, okay? So then you can all see it, and we will start. Okay.
Did you guys listen to Dean's live tonight? Today? Whatever time zone you were at?
Yeah. I haven't, no, not yet.
No, it was awesome. It was pretty good.
They're always pretty good, I think. They're always very inspiring.
I'm halfway.
Halfway.
Because it also coincided with this. I put the alarm clock at 5 a.m. and
yes, so in your time zone, what was pretty early, his life.
Yeah, in my I just woke up and I got, okay, you're not in the in the final 5, and we have live now from within and with you, so all at the same time.
I thought it was interesting that they only chose 5 people when they said originally they're going to choose 20.
Yeah.
No, but I think the 20 will be flying into Arizona, and out of the 20, they will choose 5. I have
yeah,
one.
But he said that they only chose 5 people in his recording.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear the
it.
whole thing yet. I'm gonna have to go back to this. I have a quick question to you. I'm trying to attach the agenda so you can all see it in the chat over here, but I can't really find the way how to do it. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, you need to put share. You have participants, you have invite, you have share. Okay? In the menu.
Invite.
Just share your desktop.
You can also just put it. You can also just put it in Messenger.
Yeah.
But then I will have to send to everyone else separately.
Or send it to me and I share it.
Okay. Okay, I do that.
I'm an expert in Zoom. I do all my programs in Zoom.
There you go. See, I need to get better at this. Okay, Ellie, so it's going your way on the messenger.
Okay.
And thank you anyway.
I got it here. And okay, you should have it on your messenger, Ellie, now.
Okay, it's traveling to Chile because I haven't received it yet, but it's traveling.
Yeah, so now we have this one done. We can go back.
Just
yeah. Okay, so basically we can start, guys, with the agenda. The general topic for this webinar was why we are all winners and no matter who will become a speaker for KBB. Maybe just to tap to that really quickly, we already had a lot of discussions, like one-on-one discussions and group discussion about why we were chosen, right? Why we're even here? Who is the 50 finalists? And the commonalities that I found with all the answers that you were giving me was that we are here because we were more interested in pushing the mission forward than just getting a job. And
pretty much you put more emotions into your message that you sent into the contest than the other 550 people that were not chosen to the second round.
So basically when I was also watching videos of these people who didn't make it, right? And it all struck me that they were all driven by the mission, but not all of them sold themselves as speakers, right? And maybe they had a different approach to the to this particular assignment, and they were trying to make beautiful pictures and beautiful videos, but they didn't sell the mission. So at this point, I wanted to tap into this the first point of the agenda.
Yes.
How did we get here? The commonalities, we already covered that we are here because we have our why very specific, right? What we want. But what are we really after when we were applying for this job? Like individually, what we were after? What was the things that pushed us to do this? Really, not just the job, like the second thing after the job. Francis, maybe you can tell me a little bit about that so we can have.
Well, 27 years ago, I was in Brooklyn College in the US doing a Master of Fine Arts in television production. And I saw this man on television, young man, like me, like I was. And he was Tony Robbins, was speaking about personal power. And I wanted to grow personally as Tony. And he's a big man. And I'm more like Dean, more like not so big. And I don't have that tone of Tony, that power. So I wanted to have that personal power, and I started self-educating myself. And yes, I said in my 3-minute video that I'm doing this anyway. I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it for myself. I'm already doing it for 27 years. So why not keep going?
Right.
And as I said at the beginning, it all has advantages and inconvenience. For me, it would have been chosen. I recognize that it would have been a challenge because I would have had to go to Arizona for some time, leave my kids here, leave my personal projects behind or second or whatever, and I'm gonna do it anyway. So I still want to go to Arizona, of course. I still want to meet you guys online and not online. And I'm still doing masterminds. I met like this amazing woman, Annette Goodhart, and I'm her knowledge broker. But she was abused, and for more than 40 years, she helped people laugh about their big pain. And I'm travel around the world doing that, showing people how they can self-educate themselves about emotions, about laughing, about being playful and being resilient and happy no matter what. So I'm here for you. It's 5 a.m. Like I said, in Spain, and very, very happy of not being chosen. And I see it as a challenge. I have not been chosen yet.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Dean will know about me and about my mission, and as I know about them, and I'll be there, and no matter what.
Yeah,
So
it's just a matter of time.
That is awesome share,
thank you,
Francis.
guys, because thank you. I honor you a lot because you're like me. You are not being chosen for the first time, not yet, but we were in the final 50. So we must be really proud and have something really good because we were chosen in those 50.
Those are the words of wisdom, Francis. So that's my whole point. We are here for the reason, and no matter what will happen next, if we're going to the next stage, if we're speakers or not, we already have a responsibility. By just being here as one of the 50, you already have a responsibility because people will be looking at what you're doing. And if we are not doing anything, nobody else will do anything as well. Right? So if we're going to give up, if we're going to just show them, oh, I just want the job, I didn't get the job, okay, I'm going to do my thing right now. If we're just going to be this, then that will be no inspiration for anybody. And that leads us to the point number 2 of the agenda. And I was hoping maybe Victoria can share some of her knowledge with us about this. What do you think where we are as a KBB community right now? Like, how do you find this, where it will gonna go, and where the KBB is on the journey at this particular moment?
Sure. Well, to begin, I didn't apply for the speaking role at all. Part of my business is as a professional speaker, so I'm already booked out for sort of the next couple of years. So Mike invited me to that to come and answer any questions and to help in any way that I can. But in terms of KBB, I think it's an amazing journey for people. I think what people are missing is that everyone's on a very different journey inside KBB. I feel like everyone thinks that everyone's just starting out. And I constantly have people asking me why I'm doing KBB. And I've been doing this for a really long time. Plus, I'm always studying. I've recently finished my master's in international marketing. I'm constantly reading, like I'm an avid reader. And I just wanted to do an extra course, something different that I could learn from and find out about. So I think the actual KBB family is definitely evolving. I think the summit is going to make a huge difference. People are already excited about that. And that's in a year's time. Is everyone going to the summit? Has everyone bought tickets?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that and connecting with people there. So I just try and add as much value as I can in the KBB group because I've been doing it. I'm lucky enough that I sell out all of my masterminds and all of my programs. I have much more of a high-end clientele. My coaching packages start at $50K a year. So it's a little bit of a different journey for all of us. And I just think if everyone takes that on board, that not everyone's just starting out and everyone's got different value adds, I think that's going to be most important moving forward. And I'm pretty sure KBB are quite aware of that as well with all of the posts that I've been seeing and lots of messages I've been getting. So I think we're all in a great place.
Even with the content that you share and the videos and everything, I mean, it's obvious, at least for me, that you're, you know, much ahead in your business life than, you know, at the point where I'm starting right now, where somebody else is just coming into the KBB group. So we should really appreciate the people like you that come in and share all your knowledge and everything that you do, that it's working for you. And just as Dean says, you know, for us to take whatever works for us and leave the rest. And
I think you connect with different people as well. I know that there's certain people on there, whenever I see their videos or their posts, I definitely want to read and listen because they've got a different perspective. I just think we need to take value wherever we can and remember that everyone is on a different journey with KBB and we're all at very different stages. And I think if you want to take something, take it. If you don't, and just leave it at that at the end of the day. I think there's so many people helping in that group. It's incredible. There's a lot of people in there that are 7 and 8 staff doing exceptional things. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this is very interesting to hear from Victoria because as you can see, she's already a successful speaker and she's already in the business. She didn't start for the speaking job because her mission is already set and she's already on the go. The thing about us guys over here in the group of 50 is that our mission was so close to KBB mission that it basically becomes one. That's why we applied for the job, because it was the one and the same thing. And it's not about that we are super great speakers and we have skills that nobody else has. I believe that in the group of 20,000 people is so many brilliant speakers that probably if they would apply for this job, they would get it 10 times faster than me, for example. But the thing is that my mission was so important to me, and was so close to the KBB mission. That is why I believe I'm here. And I'm guessing that probably why all of you are here as well, because your mission is the same like KBB mission. Now, as Victoria said, we are all on a little bit different journey when we're going through KBB. But since you already decided, you made the first step, you wanted to be a KBB speaker, you wanted to speak for the cause, you wanted to spread this mission. So that is why it's super important to remember that you already have a responsibility on you. If you make the first step and the second step, you're in the second round already. That means you already become a leader, a person who people will look up to, and they will see a leader in you. And whatever you're going to do now will affect a lot of people in this community and can take this whole community to the whole other level. So I was asking, where do you think the KBB is? And Victoria answered you, the first summit for KBB is the next year, is 1 year from now. So that means we are in very early stage of adopting this method, right? We are just starting, and that makes us founding fathers, pretty much, right? So now the question is how we can use the fact that we are here as the 50 chosen speakers to become inspiring leaders for this community, for the KBB community. How we can do that? What are the best ways to become inspiring leader? No matter if you're a speaker or not, you already have a power position because they chose you for some reason, right? So how you can use this, the place where you are right now to inspire first the 60 people who also wanted to spread the mission, and then maybe everybody else who's joining KBB on board, and they see these people who are here, who started just like them, and now they're so into sharing this mission because they believe that this is the best thing that they can do in their life.
Has everyone added in their LinkedIn, their email signature, etc.? Probably not you, Francis, because you've literally just woken up, but the fact that you are one of the chosen people, that should be such a big part of your personal branding now. I would put it everywhere: LinkedIn, email signature, add it to your website, let people know that you're part of that community and that elite level, regardless of whether you got through to the final 5 or not. What you've done is absolutely amazing and should be part of your personal branding now, and align yourself not only with KBB, but with Tony, Dean and Russell. So if you haven't done that, do it as soon as you get off the call. Maybe not Jen, she needs to sleep.
So what do you write, Victoria?
So for me, for my email signature, I just have all of my logos of my businesses and my websites on there.
Yeah, I have that.
But, or if I was doing something like this, if I'd won an award, or even if I was in your spot, I would have something along the lines of that you were in the top 50 of getting through to that next level. You could even, I'm not sure how it works with KBB in terms of having their logo on your branding, but just personal brand you and align yourself with that community, because I'm sure if you see on that Facebook group, it's growing by thousands and thousands every week. Like, this is a huge movement, and you're all part of the very first stages, as Mike said. So align yourself now as much as possible with that mission, and put it everywhere. Make a post.
Right. So something like top 50 KBB speaker.
100%. I would even perhaps collate with everyone and get the same personal branding and have, you know, top 50 KBB speaker, and then have their logo, or even have it in their color or their font, just so you can really align your brand with theirs, because otherwise it's just a missed opportunity, I would see it as.
I guess you'd have to put it like a top 50 select or choice or something.
Yeah, we can work on the wording, but the point is that we have to put it out there. You see, I actually got this idea also from Victoria when she got the shout out from Dean. The first thing you do is just go and tell everyone, I got a shout out, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. And people will see, oh my God, this is good, right? And I did the same thing when I got my shout out from Dean. I used it right away. I went out and tell everybody, yeah, I got a shout out. I'm you know, and people start to listen to what I'm saying. And I already have like, only the fact that I shared the fact that I had a shout out got me from, let's say, 5 or 10 comments on each post to 15, 20 comments on each post, right? Just this one thing. And the same thing is with the group of 50. If we make it a brand, if we make a big thing out of it, that we are the chosen 50. Okay, now it's only 20,000 people in this group, but just see what's going to happen next. They're going to release the new launch in February. February 2020 is the relaunch of KBB. You will see that it's going to be a madness. A madness. That's the amount of people that will join the KBB for the next launch. It's probably going to be tripled or quadrupled even.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that will, and imagine then, imagine like 1 or 2 years from now, what it would mean to be one of the chosen 50 speakers for KBB. One of the 50 chosen speakers 2 years from now. That will be huge. Right now you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm just one of the 50. But 2 years from now, when you're going to have 1 million people following KBB, or a couple million people following KBB, being one of the 50 is going to be all of a sudden a big deal.
Definitely.
And like Victoria is saying, selling the fact that we are here, one of the 50, is key. But it's even better if we're doing it as a group. Because if I'm just saying that, oh, you know, I'm one of the 50, and nobody knows what one of the 50 means, it doesn't have this ring, you know. But if we have,
do you think we need to ask them permission, like to say something, like say we want to say that we're the founding top 50 KBB speakers?
That was the idea. Actually, when we were discussing with Victoria and Gigi before the webinar, we were thinking that one of the things that we could do, even during this webinar, at the very end of the webinar, is do a shout out to Dean and Tony. So I'm recording all this, right? What we can do is basically show them that we're all here united, having brilliant minds on board, thinking about how we're going to push this mission, how we're going to push the KBB mission to the next level. We're not here for the speaking job, guys. We're here for the mission. And we're going to post this, and going to be a shout out to Dean and Tony from one side, but from the other side, we're going to show to all the other members of the community, we are here for you guys. If you want to spread this mission as well with us, we will find ways how to pull you on board, and you will be sharing this mission with us. That's the idea. of that's the marketing leverage for us.
There's two more things that I think we can do right now. One of the things can be as easy as just stop the recording and do another recording, just a short one, in which we all say, hey, we're here, we are in the top 50, we didn't make it into the top 5, but we're here for you. And we can post that short video message into the KBB, in all the groups that we are of KBB. And the other thing that we can do that is very easy, we just smile and take a screenshot of that we are 6 people here. We chose ourselves. Among those 50, 20 or 25 are in the Education Innovators group, and only 6 we're right here right now. So we should kiss ourselves and be proud of ourselves. Because we choose ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to leverage it in the other group, I guess I have a few questions. One would be, should the other group not be called KBB with then the name of the group, so that people will, because people are always looking for the KBB groups.
Yeah, we can rename the group. I
think it has to be
like that for the starter, but you know, the moment we are in this together, I'm very happy, guys, to like bring all your ideas on board, share it with you. I don't want it to be, the one thing I didn't want it to do was to put my face out there as a, this is Mike, this is my stuff, because that's not the point. The point is that this is our stuff. We make it as a team. We combine forces. We combine our superpowers together to find different ways to spread the mission faster. That's the power of the team, not the power of one person who made it to the next level. Okay? So obviously we can tweak it, and we can use Victoria's team as well. She's happy to help as far as I remember. And
what have I signed up for here, Mike?
Well, I think it's kind of twofold. Like, how do we figure out how to get a message back to Tony and Dean, which we can do. I think in terms of the, you know, how do we grow or influence, if we don't want it to only be exclusive to the 600 applicants, we could put it to people who want to have access to people who were part of the top 50 in even longer term. Like if we think in a year from now or whatever, like how do we establish that we're part of the KPB, but position it that, I guess, who we are as leaders to help them support and to have that influence, because there's so many groups. Like I'm part of a KPB girls group right now. There's like 700 of us in there.
Yeah, many KBB groups are popping up.
I think what's going to happen soon, I think they're going to crack down on that. I really do. I think they're going to start getting a bit nervous about having KBB in the Facebook names, just for legal reasons, because if, you know, there's a lot of, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, on the actual main group, there's sometimes a lot of negativity, there's comments, and there's been one big one that came out this week, and that was mentioned all these side groups. So I wouldn't be surprised, not that I know anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually put a rule and regulation on that and take it out of Facebook, and you're just going to have to call it something else. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I think that'll happen really soon, because they're popping up everywhere. Like I get literally probably 2 or 3 invitations to a KBB group every week. That's right.
Yeah, so do I.
Just to give you some insight, guys, I'm in contact with Lini Palacios, and I shared with her the whole idea about this group that we're having over here and the bigger group that I formed for the 600. And just to answer, like before I go deeper on this, just to answer you, Jennifer, I actually don't want to limit this other group to 600. This is just like a strategic move just to start. But I already posted a video on that group, that this group is not only for the people who applied for the job, but for all the people who really believe that the main reason of their life is to spread the self-education in mastermind mode, in mastermind format. This is for all these people who want to link their business and their personal life with spreading this mission. That's why.
So should it be like, because I think Dean kind of already gave an indication that it was going to be leaning towards knowledge broker instead of knowledge business blueprint.
Yes.
So should we be looking at calling the group knowledge broker or something?
I think that's a really good idea, and getting first before everyone else.
Sure. And like I said, I think I don't want to do it against KBB, because Lini Palacios is on board with this. She is super excited about this. When I told her about this idea for the first time, she invited me for the interview for the KBB success. And I'm like, I don't have any success right just yet, but she already wanted to interview me for this, right? And I had a 40 minutes talk with her about what it's going to be, what we're going to do, and how I'm visioning the future for this movement. And she's excited about this, but in KBB team, there are structures, guys. This is already quite big company, and they don't know what's happening in different segments of their company. So people who are, for example, doing the interviews for us, for the speakers, are not really talking with people who are working with affiliates, and people that working with affiliates not really working with people who are taking care of the Facebook group. This is very big structure over there, and you have to talk with every single person separately, because they don't even know who you are and what your achievements are when it comes to KBB, right? But not to spread ourselves thin. When it comes to names, guys, and like details, what we could do, that is something that we can discuss once we have people on board, once we are a team and we're saying, yes, we want to do this, right? And for today,
Facebook can't let you change your name after 200. I don't know how many people are in your group, but you can't change it after 200.
Well, at this point, I think we have something around 50, but we can always establish a new group and just pull all the people to the new group. You know, you record one video, tell them, look, guys, we've grown to these numbers right now. We're going to the next stage. We're taking everybody with us. Boom. And we're in the next stage, right? So it's not a big deal, right? At this point, I would rather focus on how to inspire people. And that's the point 3 of our agenda. There is nothing easier than just following what Dean already gave us in one of the Monday inspirations. So the point 3, I gave you the 4 things, the 4 steps that he recommended, what we need to do in order to inspire people that will be right underneath us, like in this second level of leadership, because we are the 50, right? So we are this level of leadership, and then we're going to have other people following us, and then other people following them. Because like I said, guys, think big. The KBB right now is just a baby. It's just a little tiny baby, and it's going to grow in no time. You will see that the numbers will be super, super huge, and being one of the 50 will be the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
I think that the bigger question that you probably should ask yourself and all of us here is what kind of a value can we bring to the people or you guys, what kind of a value can you bring to the people that didn't make it, you know, so they can, this community can get attracted to this group somehow, because everyone is searching for something, you know. They need to fill some sort of a gap, or is it the way they talk? Is it the way that they market? Is it the way that they communicate? Is it the product? Is it the passion? Or what is the value that you can bring by creating this group to all of us, you know, that are just starting, or we didn't make it, or we didn't apply, or whatever it was?
I guess my question would be is, as the founding top 50, right, we would have been speaking to help people be knowledge brokers, right? So I kind of view it as there's 2 ways we can handle the group. There's probably multiple ways, but to me, two key themes of handling the group is, are we trying to help people who are falling down in the program and need that extra support, and this way it can be a larger community? Or are we just trying to help the people who are trying to be speakers and help them to be better speakers?
Well, so for me, guys, I think that this is this is the moment when we are narrowing the niche, right? The niche here is that we're not just knowledge brokers. We are knowledge brokers who want to spread the self-learning in mastermind mode, not in specific like industry, but in general. We are here for the education. We want the education to move forward, right? We want to make it a norm for everybody in the world. And for that, we are narrowing down the niche in a way that we're not just giving you the ways how to be a good knowledge brokers for anything. We are giving you the ways how to be a good knowledge broker and spread this mission, the mission of KBB, which is yours at the same time, self-education in mastermind format. If we could just go back to the point number 3 of the agenda, there are the four points. Maybe Victoria could tell us a little bit more about your perspective on this, how important it is to highlight the superpowers, not just one person but us as a team, find the pain points of the group just below us, be transparent and honest with them, and find confidence as a group.
Yeah, I think Jennifer's definitely on the right road. I think you need to find out how you can help KBB as a whole. I wouldn't just do it for people that want to become a speaker, because I believe that's such a small part of the KBB community. I would go larger point, how you can help them. So think about what their struggles are, their pain points. You could even do some polls in KBB. I see whenever people do polls, they get quite a great response. And then I wouldn't be thinking, if I was you, I wouldn't be thinking about doing this from a money perspective. I'd be thinking it as just building as much value as possible. And then if people want to reach out to you as a collective group or individually, they can do so. I've tried to give as much value as possible in KBB, but I know my target market's not in there. I know people aren't going to pay $50,000 in that group when they're just kind of starting out. But you'd be able to really discover that people, like Jennifer said, people falling down, people can't get through it. You just need to look at the social media pages, and there's so many people in there. I don't know how to do this. I want to give up. I don't know how to do that. They're the people I would recommend that you reach out to and say, look, this is where we're at. You guys are the pillars of the founding team now. So I would be leveraging off that as much as possible. And then we're always here not only to make an impact, but you are here to run a business and make money as well. You're not doing it as a charity or a hobby. So down the track, once you've really built that authority, people will start reaching out to you. Like I literally get, not just from KBB, but just in general, thousands of messages every day from people that want help, have seen a video or whatever that might be. And you're just building credibility and authority consistently. So I would come together as a group, find out what those pain points are, and then give them a solution as to how you can help them, whether you want to do a weekly mastermind yourself. That would probably be one of the first things I would suggest you do as leaders. A webinar like today with a really strict agenda, Q&A sessions. But if I was in your shoes, I'd be putting together collectively a mastermind and sharing that within the group. And then every one of you has your own superpower, your own genius. So bring that to your presentation, and then people will connect with one or many of you and reach out to you directly. And just keep building yourselves as an authority in your space. Show up, be visible, just make sure people see that you're an expert in that field and that you're the person to go to. So keep answering questions on KBB too. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with the idea of reaching out to the big group. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not trying to limit ourselves only to the 600 or to the other group that I've created. I just did that because I was thinking from the perspective of structure. So, for example, we will definitely, to use the leverage, to maximize the leverage from being the 50, as Victoria said, we need to do as much as possible and diversify to all different groups and to all different people that are in KBB. But I was thinking more of doing it on a couple different levels. So, for example, we are reaching out as a team to the main community, to the KBB community, and giving them what they need. But then we're also narrowing down the people who are very close connected with the mission, and for them we're delivering a little bit different thing. But doesn't mean that we only gonna limit ourselves to this group. By all means, we should do all different things, and even not as the whole. Like, I was also thinking about this. We don't need to be just one thing. So sometimes maybe we will reach to the community as a group of 50 finalists for the second round. The other day, maybe it's just going to be 5 people teaming up together and reaching out to the group. Next day, maybe it's just going to be 3 of us doing something together and going and answering a Q&A session to all the people who are interested in something that we know. Right? So it doesn't mean that we're only focusing on one thing and only doing this one group that I started, and that's going to be our main goal. That's just one. That is just one how, and then we can have million other hows. It's still the same thing. If we combine forces, the first point that Dean is giving us, the superpower, is growing, because it's not just a superpower of one person, it's a superpower of a couple people.
So just to interrupt, Mike, it's 2:52 here and I've got a meeting at 3:10, so I'm going to have to leave in about 8 minutes. So if you've got any questions or anything else I can help with, I'd love to help in any way that I can.
All right, guys. So at this point, I think we went through the most important parts of the agenda. I think I created a little list of tips. Maybe if you can think about any other tips that you can give us, Victoria, how to do a simple moves right now that will give us bigger leverage from this win, from the win of being the 50. Just like you mentioned. Going and creating, for example, a Q&A session for people, or any other tips like that. Like, what would you do if you would be on our place and you want to maximize this win?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'd definitely strike while the iron's hot. So I wouldn't be sitting around for long with this. I'd be getting on board with something really quickly, because the next thing's going to happen, the next challenge, they're going to put other things out. So this is your chance to do something. So collectively, I'm really liking the idea of you guys doing a mastermind together, and perhaps every week recording it, because we all know how hard it is globally to get people. We're all different time zones. Record it, do a Q&A session, and just keep sharing that within KBB and helping people. And I really think you should look at that bigger picture of people that need help. Like, you guys are up here in terms of KBB and what you've done and what you've achieved, and that mission that you want to push forward. But don't just make it about KBB either. Make sure you bring your own superpower and your own genius zone into that as well, because each of you are going to have very different strengths. And what I personally try and do in the KBB group is I love KBB and I love everything they're teaching, but for me, I'm a practitioner. I'm in there every day doing it. I'd rather share things that are working and then repackage, which I know a lot of people are doing, then repackage what's in KBB and just sell it another way. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather give value that they're not getting anywhere else. And I'm sure that you guys could do the same thing as well. You don't need to repackage something they've learnt in KBB. Bring something from outside of the community and share that, and you'll get much more leverage, and you'll get a lot more you'll add a lot more value to people, because I find just different things that I share resonate with different people. And I've now, heard people talking about their Godfather offers and their power guarantee. So people do listen. So I think injecting something that's not KBB based would be really important to have a point of difference for you guys as your sort of unique mechanism within the group. And call your mastermind. I really like what Jennifer's saying about the knowledge broker, because that's where Dean and Tony are heading. And oh yeah, the Education Innovators is great, but I would align yourself more with the knowledge broker as a term, because you're going to find people using that term quite frequently now, and people will know what it is.
Yeah.
So would you consider doing it like a monthly summit of
Yes.
guest speakers?
Yeah, I would do, yeah, every month, and then just a couple of you would be the main co-hosts, perhaps 2 or 3 people. I'd never do more than 3 because it just becomes a bit too information overload, and then do a live Q&A session at the end that you can all answer and you can all help. And you'll find as you're working together, 2 of you will just mesh better and work better together on camera. And you could even take it to doing a podcast. I've been invited by 2 people in KBB to go onto their KBB podcast, so you could do a podcast. There's so much that you could leverage from this, and just see it as a complete value add to begin with, and then you can make some kind of a business or start charging for the mastermind after the first few months. But I would do 1 every single month, record it, share the link in KBB, and they've just added today the educational tool unit, so they might be able to add a special unit. I'd be asking, I'm not sure how to say her name, Linny, thank you. I would be asking if you could have your own toolkit in the KBB Facebook page, so you can leave your links in there every week so people can watch them as much as they want, and just leverage it as quickly as you can.
But then I guess if you're putting your own, you'd have to be careful not to use your own content that your clients pay for.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, because I already have my own programs,
yeah,
right?
Of course. I wouldn't be sharing that, no. Absolutely not. I would be sharing more the help within KBB. That's your own IP. I am a firm believer of giving away a lot of my best stuff, because then I think that's what translates to getting clients. But for you, I would be just looking at helping those people as much as you possibly can, because you've been there, you've been in their shoes, you understand the frustrations of what they're experiencing, and just helping them, and have your own topics. So each mastermind, you'll all talk about something different. One week you might just talk about speaking strategies. Another month you might be talking about, marketing growth strategies, whatever your sort of superpower is.
Yeah. So I'm in marketing. So would I talk about only the knowledge KPB broker, what they teach of marketing, or would I put
Yeah, do a combination of both, but just don't give away too much of your own stuff. Otherwise, why are they going to buy from you? So
exactly.
But you need to be seen as an expert in that field out of your group. You don't want to have 20 of you and 19 of you are marketing experts. That's that's tricky, because then you're going to give conflicting information as well. So just come up with your own strengths, and combine them both, KBB and then your own knowledge as well, and give them extra tips outside that.
And do that as a separate knowledge broker, and have that posted if we can inside the knowledge broker unit.
Yeah, and have your own, I'd build your own mastermind straight away from it as the top 20, or I don't know whether the other people, whether they couldn't make it or they weren't interested in being involved, but reach out to all of the people, invite them, and do a collective knowledge broker mastermind as the founding speakers, the top 50.
And I guess if it works within the own community, we could always go out and sell it too.
Absolutely. Right? 100%. I would be seeing that as something down the track. Do the value.
Like test it out within the community, and what's the hot ones that were successful.
The proof of concept right there. And then I'd even start thinking the next step of how you can leverage of this at the KBB Summit, because I've already been invited to speak at some of the smaller KBB events. I know things are already been organised. You could organise your own event, and people could pay for that either prior or after the actual conference. I think that could be a really clever thing for you to do as well.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. No worries.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Lark, is there any other questions, or you're all good?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be all for now, guys, because I don't want to keep it too long. But just remember that we're still here, all for each of us and for every one of us. Victoria is still here to help, and maybe we can come up with all the brilliant ideas what we can do during the next webinar. For now, I think we got it covered. We know why we're here and what we can do with it.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you so much for everyone.
Yeah, great for
Thank
organising.
you, Mike. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, everybody else. Marina,
Thank you.
Francis,
Thank you,
Jennifer,
thank you, thank
Kelly.
you.
Much
Appreciate
love.
it. Bye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Victoria.
Good night, Jennifer.
Thanks,
Hear you
everyone.
later.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.